Good morning and welcome to the E3 Live Market Report. I'm Pat McClatchy. It's Thursday morning. The export report has just come out. We're going to go over that and look at the breakdown, and then we're going to make some comments about the news of the week and looking forward at some different ideas for the future. We've got these numbers that have come out, and let's take a look at what we're seeing. The cotton number that has just come out is a total number of 52,600 bales, and as this number came out, the cotton market was down in the July, down about 3, and December was up about 4. Right now the market is firmed up some. I see December's up 11 and the July is up 1. Looking at soybeans, the number is 132,900, and the reaction in the soybean market, soybeans were down 5.5 in July and down 4.25 in the November. And right now the soybean reaction, the soybeans have firmed up a small amount. July is down 4, November's down 3. We are next looking at the corn number, 627,200. That number is, corn was down a penny as this came out, and right now the corn market is down a penny in July and unchanged in the December. Next we'll look at wheat. The report that came out here, the wheat number is 315,700. I have to look at that twice to make sure it's not a negative. That's a positive number, and so that's a good number. Wheat was unchanged. The reaction in the wheat is up about a half cent. Looking at the breakdowns here that have just come out, cotton 52,600, that's up 21% from the previous week, but down 36% from the prior 4-week average. Vietnam took 21,500. Turkey took 17,100. Malaysia took 4,400. And looking at actual shipments of 209,000. The very small net sales for new crop. So let's look at the breakdown here. On soybeans, 132,900. That's down 19% from the previous week and 26% under the 4-week average. Japan took 105,000. We've got Indonesia taking 71,800, and now the Netherlands taking 70,000 metric tons. The corn number, 627,200. Japan took 182,300. Mexico took 136,400. South Korea took 129,400. And lastly, the wheat, 315,700. The breakdown is Japan took 97,700. Mexico took 90,500, and Brazil took 26,000 metric tons. So again, looking at the reaction, the cotton market and the soybean market have firmed up a small amount. Wheat's up about a half cent higher than it was, and the corn's pretty close to the same number. We have had numbers come out today that in the financial side, CPI has come out, and jobless claims have come out. We've right now got the dollar reacting in a negative way. The dollar's actually down 64 points, and it looks like the 93.63 is where the dollar index is, and that is probably on the lower end of what we've seen in recent history. So that also should be positive for markets. Just sort of taking a look at what's happened this week. Okay, here we go. Bear with me here. the planting progress showed cotton 91% planted on Monday versus an average of 96%. Everything else looked pretty good. Texas was 88% planted, and the crop is 49% good to excellent, which is an improvement from the previous week. Soybeans 87% planted versus an average of 90%. Corn 97% emerged versus an average of 95%. Now, the news over the recent days has been the weather, the tropical storm coming up through Texas and then making its way up through the Midwest, bringing more and more rain, with a forecast over the next 7 days in the Midwest for as much as 7 to 8 inches. And that's had a positive effect. There's called short covering in the soybeans, and I think it's helped the cotton a little bit also. But that's really been the news there. Looking at some just news items we'll quickly go over in cotton. The China opening its reserve was announced here a few days ago. The details of that will be coming out in about a week. The market did not react well to that, and it sold off as a result of it, although this was not a surprise to the trade, nor do people in the business think they're going to be selling high-quality cotton as they sell cotton out of their reserve. I'll read this from the Plexus newsletter. Peter Eagley writes this. So where do we go from here? This was written actually last week, but it's still very applicable to today. December, which is now the lead month, has slipped back in the middle of its 61 to 67 cent sideways trend. A break below 64 would probably spark a sell-off towards the lower end of the range. Improved growing conditions in the U.S. and possibly India have lowered the weather premium, and the negative narrative out of China may invite some spec selling. However, from a statistical point of view, we don't see any reason for a pronounced down move at this point, since the supply pipeline is fairly tight outside China and India, and the outcome of new crop is still uncertain at this point. So that's those comments. Looking at some of the comments about grain. Grain markets have moved higher, as I mentioned, with Tropical Storm Bill's remnants, and as I said, they're looking for more rain looking forward. Let's talk about price action and what's happened this week and possibly what might happen. The soybean market reached its low on Monday in November. November beans were at $8.95 3/4. Then we had a 47-cent bounce in November. Got up to $9.42 3/4 yesterday, and right now the November soybeans are trading at $9.36.5. I think farmers should consider pricing some of their beans if we can follow through to the upside and get into the $9.40 to $9.50 range. December corn, on Tuesday we saw a low in December corn of $3.62.5. We bounced 14 cents to a high yesterday of $3.76 3/4, and right now the December corn is trading at $3.75. I think farmers should consider pricing some of their corn in the area of $3.80 to $3.90 if we can work into that level. September wheat, on June the 10th, September wheat made a high of $5.44 and then proceeded to sell off sharply. June the 16th saw the low of $4.92.25, so the range over that time period was almost 52 cents, and now it's trading at $4.92.5. Suggestions there for those that need to do some selling should consider the $5.10 to $5.15 level. So that's really it. Looking again at the reaction of the market, we've continued to firm up in the cotton. December cotton's up 16 now at 64.68. The high overnight was 64.83. We've got in soybeans down down 3 3/4 at 9.36 in the November soybeans, and then the July soybeans are down 5. Corn's down a penny in July, and the December corn is down about a half cent at 3.74.5. We've got wheat up about 3/4 cent. Rice is unchanged. Looking at the financial markets, the dollar is now down 58. Crude oil is up 46. Gold has had a very big bounce here, up $23 an ounce with silver. I'm sorry, up $23 an ounce with silver up about 36 cents an ounce. And then we've got the S&P up 6.5. So that's it for the day for the E3 report. We'll hope you'll join us again next week, and make sure you join us tomorrow morning at 7:30 for our daily update, morning update. That's it for today. Thanks for being with us.